They're both great fillies, no doubt about that. Riverina Charm won the 1,000 guineas and the Edward Manifold Stakes, and Research was successful here in the Wakeful Stakes, so there won't be a lot between them. I'm surprised that Research is the favourite. Let's check on the tote here in Victoria, and we see that Research is $1.35 and Riverina Charm is $1.30, so there's still very little between them. Glenview at big odds $15.05, Soliloquy $6.25, Trappings $15.50, Shalaya $14.55, Sunpath $8.05, Salis Opera $4.40, Volterra $18.80, High Equity over the page $22, Love You Perth $24, and Sejanet $84.15. So that's the situation. Now the tips, Graham Kelly likes Riverina Charm number 2, and his long shot is number 9 Volterra. And for Keith Hillier, it's 1 Research, long shot 8 Salis Opera. So the two experts disagree. In the ring, Research looks like running favourite in front of Riverina Charm, but Phil Gibbs, as we've seen so many times before, we've had match races and it hasn't turned out. And this is the big one of the day. It's the Oaks Stakes.
Yes, and there's a big crowd around here to watch it as we look at them over 2,500 metres in the event. Total of $353,000 in prize money, including $3,000 in trophies, and the first prize $227,500. Now for a complete run through the field, we take you to Keith Hillier.
Thank you, Phil. Well, Research number 1, as you mentioned, the prize money for this classic's nodded her head as though she was ready to accept it. She looks a treat. This Sydney filly has raced 13 times. Thought from the ring, thought from the professionals is that mileage will stick to her and help her in her clash with Riverina Charm. The pair of them are dominating betting, and on looks, both of them, Graham, I'm sure you'll agree, look above the rest.
Yes, certainly. Number 2, Riverina Charm, looks exceptionally well. Keith, she's going into the race on a lighter preparation than Research. Her racing has been over 1,600 metres. She won the Edward Manifold Stakes and followed up by putting up a tremendous performance to win the 1,000 guineas at Caulfield. That was one of the best runs I've seen this spring, and she'll run very well. And I think that, as you say, Research is the hardest to beat, obviously.
Larry Olsen and Bart Cummings' son Anthony going across to number 3 now, Glenview. Larry to be legged up on this filly. She's about a 26-1 chance on the Victorian tote. Glenview disappointed last start, but she was out of her depth. That was the Cox Plate. Before that, she ran a nice 5th of 16 starters behind Riverina Charm in the 1,000 guineas at Caulfield. She was beaten only 2.5 lengths on that occasion, so maybe she's in there with a place chance.
Number 4 is Soliloquy, and she's going to run very well, according to Bart Cummings. He says she's thriving in the stable in recent weeks, and she did run a very good second to Memphis Blues over 1,600 metres at Moonee Valley at her last start. And Bart says she's gone on improving, and she's the best of his 3 from in this race.
We'll have a look at number 5. Trapping. She probably is the equine version of Twiggy. She's a very fine filly. She probably weighs about half what the Melbourne Cup winner Empire Rose weighs, and that was some 640 kilos. But then again, she's half the age of Empire Rose, who was a 6-year-old, and this classic, of course, is for 3-year-old fillies. Trappings, despite her lack of muscle, has certainly no lack of ability. She has been racing well with wins at Mornington, and she won the Oaks Trial Stakes at Geelong before her 6th in the Wakeful Stakes here.
There's quite a strong tip from Sydney for number 6 Shalaya, trained by Frank Lewis, who of course won the Melbourne Cup with Lord Fury back in 1961. Shalaya goes into this race with an unusual preparation. She's been racing in open company. She won over 2,000 metres at Rosehill 2 starts back, and then the last start she ran a very good 4th, I understand, beaten only 2 lengths in a 2,000 metre welter at Rosehill again, and Shalaya is expected to run very well. And anyone looking for a long shot, I know I've tipped Volterra as my long shot, but perhaps I could amend that now to number 6 Shalaya.
Well, a long shot with some support is number 7 Sunpath. This grey filly was trained at
Kohler here at Flemington. The fillies look superb as they went to the post. Eddie Maguire's at the barrier. Eddie, all interest on Research and Riverina Charm. They look spot on from here. How do they look from down there?
Beautiful, Bruce. The fillies race, as you say, Ladies' Day, and the attendants all expect them to go in like ladies too, behaving like ladies. Research, the favourite in barrier 11. Riverina Charm a bit closer in barrier 3. They say it's a race of 2, but Dandy Andy and Empire Rose have spoilt those races before. Just looking at them now, they're just about in, Bruce, so let's go back and good luck with the call.
Thanks, Ed. As you say, Dandy Andy in the Australian Cup upsetting Bone Crusher and Vo Rogue, and then last Saturday in the McKinnon Stakes, Empire Rose upsetting Vo Rogue and Our Poetic Prince. Des Spain with me. Des, Riverina Charm's not trained at Flemington, I know that. Have you seen her in Research much this spring?
only the races at Caulfield. I thought that Research was a little unlucky not to have beaten Riverina Charm at Caulfield, and she's my selection of the two. And I think that there's a horse called Glenview that could bob into a placing, even though Bart hasn't selected. He thinks Soliloquy is the best of his.
Research in, and the last to come up will be Sejonet. Which of the fillies will join the former greats to have won the Oaks Stakes? Ready for the feature race on Oaks Day. Light on, ready, set, Stanwell racing. And Glenview was a little slow. Volterra beat them out. Riverina Charm got away okay. Research away fast. Sejonet coming across from the outside. Soliloquy away well with trappings on the inside as Sejonet's going to lead early. Shalaya trapped deep. Some path back fourth last with Salis Opera inside of it and High Equity out of the straight. Love You Perth trapped on the inside of those and a length to Glenview. Sejonet leads the stablemate trappings out of the straight and moving up to be second. Around the outside now would be Soliloquy. 2 lengths to Volterra, and Riverina Charm's nice and handy. A length and a half to Research, a half to Love You Perth. 2 lengths away Some Path. 2 away Salis Opera, another grey on the fence. High Equity, 2 to Glenview and Shalaya the outside. Pace steady in the Oaks and Sejonet at the 1800 by 2 to Soliloquy, who's pulling and spoiling her chances. A half to Trappings, the box seat. 3 lengths to Volterra. A length further back Riverina Charm. Gauchi giving her a very good run and Dipman right behind her on Research. Then Love You Perth from Salis Opera, trapped deep around Some Path, High Equity. Shalaya second last, and inside of her is Glenview. At the 1400 metres or at this turn, and Sejonet by a length and a quarter to Soliloquy. Trappings the rail, 2 lengths further back on the field. Then came Riverina Charm inside Volterra and Salis Opera. 3 deeps had no luck. A length and a half to Research. Dipman's watched Gauchi's every move. Love You Perth on the inside, 2 lengths further back on the field to High Equity. And back last of all is Glenview, and just up in front of those horses Some Path and Shalaya outside of Glenview. Going down towards the 1,000, and Sejonet a length and a quarter to Soliloquy, and a length away Trappings the inside. 1 further back on the outside then would be Volterra and Salis Opera just in front of her. Riverina Charm's in a pocket. Research 3 deep. Dipman's got Riverina Charm where he wants her at the moment. Then Love You Perth from further back on the field to Glenview, starting to thread her way through. Shalaya taking off with a run, and one of the last High Equity as they come to the turn. 600 out, Riverina Charm trying to angle for a run where Salis Opera's just led on the turn from Soliloquy. Research, Riverina Charm looks like she might get clear from Glenview, and then Shalaya in the straight. Salis Opera took the lead at the 400. Research getting out. Riverina Charm went sideways to get a crack at them. Dipman goes for home on Research. Gauchi chases on Riverina Charm. Research pitches a big break, looks to have it won, sprints right away from Riverina Charm. 2 lengths away Shalaya, and Research is going to bolt the Oaks in. A comprehensive victory. She's 4 or 5, Riverina Charm and Shalaya. Sydney fillies 1, 2, 3, but Research wins in a breeze by 5 lengths. Riverina Charm second, third Shalaya. Long gap to Glenview, Trappings, then Salis Opera. Behind those horses Love You Perth, High Equity, Volterra. One of the last was Some Path, and back with it Soliloquy, and Sejonet was tailed off 100 metres away last.
Well, it was a classic ride by Mick Dittman. He had, everywhere he went, he just had Riverina Charm in his sights. From the turn out of the straight to the half mile, he went up out wide. Riverina Charm was in a bit of a pocket. It made no difference. He said, I'm off, and I thought that that's the way it should have been at Caulfield, but I was wrong because Riverina Charm won.
Time is very good, Des. It's 2:35.8. It's quite outstanding.
They don't run better than that.
In fact, that's the fastest I can see for an Oaks Stakes since we've gone to metric. And it was a brilliant performance by Research. It was a brilliant ride by Mick Dittman, as Des said. He had Riverina Charm exactly where he wanted her. And when she sprinted brilliantly. Clary Connors, the winning trainer. He's a bit of a battler from what... Got out of picture. Don't Play from the Gold Coast behind him with Molokai Prince. Been one of the really top races, the Linlithgow Stakes, always on Oaks Day over 1400 metres. Targlish in the Hyperion colours going out behind the line, and Prince Regent and Prince Anton there as well. Prince Regent taking his time. Eddie Maguire's at the barrier, as he has been throughout the carnival. Eddie Redelva's a very, very big horse. He's drawn 2. And Vitalic's a little fellow drawn 1, so Redelva's going to absolutely stand over him in the barrier, and I reckon Redelva will lead him out by about a half a length.
Might be trying to intimidate him as well, Bruce. Yes, well, the inside running, obviously the good alley to be out of here at the 1400, because there's only a short run up to the turn and you don't want to be caught 2 or 3 wide there. The attendants are expecting Prince Anton to carry on a little bit if it has to be pushed in. They're hoping to get it in one go, because Prince Anton is a bit of a kicker, likes to kick up a little bit, so the attendants are looking after that one. And Vitalik, of course, the other one going in. He'll need a man to get him in, and we'll see how he goes now. The horses now coming up, they all look a picture. Nobody's sweating up or anything. As you said, only 8 horses in this race. Slight delay at the moment. We're just waiting for a few more to come up. But they look a picture, Bruce, at the moment.
Top horses, and they've been well presented, Eddie. And they're all behaving themselves. These horses are a little older than those 2-year-old fillies we saw earlier on, Des Spain, where there were all sorts of problems with the favourite Momentaire before the race.
Yes, she played up pretty badly, and she... controllable, these horses, and I think that you'll find a pretty good race and a pretty even start. I was wondering that I just had a feeling that Targlish might run well in this, Bruce. I thought it was a pretty good effort in the Gadsden, so whether he's up to weight for age we'll find out shortly.
He won over 1,400 metres on Cup Day last year. There's Vitalik, Caulfield Guineas winner, second in the Sires Produce Stakes at this track over this distance. He's a classic horse, a winner of a Group 1 event. Has already won $786,000. A lot of money for a 3-year-old. He's worth a lot of money, this horse, by No Alcoholic from Maya Vita. A 3-year-old colt trained down at Mount Moriac by Megsy Elkington. And he is a quality horse. Brent Thompson has a happy knack of riding big race winners. And Brent will be looking forward to this fellow in the Linlithgow. Not sure for the hold-up, because we're past post time and there's no attempt at this stage to move them in. In fact, they're just starting to close the gates. Still Vitalik. Redelva's back a long way, having his first start in the 1,400 metres. His form has been over 1,000 and 1,200. Keith Hillier's been in excellent form today. 5 races, he's picked 4 winners. Neville Wilson on Redelva, in screen at the moment. Giant horse from the southeast of South Australia. He won the Maribyrnong Trial Stakes as a 2-year-old at Flemington in his second race start. He was second behind Serendipity in the Fulham Park Plate as a 2-year-old, and then came to Melbourne and won. And he's been a regular visitor since. Won a string of races in South Australia, and he is the best sprinter they've produced in that state for a long time. Vitalik walks in without any problems. This is run from a chute, Des. In fact, the 1,400 is with the 1,200, the 2 further spots from the racecourse from our position here in the broadcasting box.
Yes, they start with we've got a good view of the start, because they're right in line and we see them break nicely, but it is the furthest point. Inside barriers, you know, of no consequence in this race, because there's only the 8 runners, but normally I think if you can draw in wide, in close, it's better.
Great shot there of Brent Thompson and Neville Wilson in 1 and 2. See Redelva standing tall over Vitalik. Cindy Legend next to those. Here's Molokai Prince coming up, winner of the Magic Millions. 3-year-old. Walks in quietly. All well behaved. Up goes Don't Play. Not really a weight for age horse. Targlish will be the next to come up in the Hyperion colours. In he goes. He's been a great old horse, Targlish. And the last couple will be the 2 princes from Queensland, Prince Regent and Prince Anton. Prince Regent goes in. They've had similar careers so far, these 2 horses. It's just that Prince Anton's a year older. In goes Prince Anton, they're set. Group 2 race. Second most important race on Oaks Day. Stanwell starter looks at them, right on racing. And Vitalik away fairly well. Redelva did beat him out. A bit slow to begin, Targlish, and back with him as Prince Regent. Redelva's going to lead clearly on, settling by a length to Don't Play, going up with Prince Anton around the outside. Vitalik tucked on the way on the fence. Outside of him, Cindy Legend, a half length to Targlish, Molokai Prince and Prince Regent. Not a lot of pace on, and this will suit Redelva. He's starting to stride away now. 2.5 to Don't Play. Vitalik getting a good run at the 1,000. A half Prince Anton 3 deep. 2 lengths away, Targlish outside Cindy Legend. A length to Prince Regent and 2 to Molokai Prince. Wilson has stacked them up on Redelva at the 800. Prince Anton moves up within a long neck. On the fence, Vitalik, Don't Play, 3 wide, Targlish. A length and a half to Prince Regent, Cindy Legend the inside, and 2 to Molokai Prince.
Starting to run now at the 600. These horses accelerating. Redelva led a half length to Prince Anton, a length and a half to Vitalik on the inside of Don't Play. Targlish has covered ground. Behind those, Cindy Legend with Molokai Prince and Prince Regent. In the straight at the 400, Redelva held together, led a length Prince Anton. Vitalik under the whip, going for a rouse run from Targlish and Molokai Prince. Redelva safely holding them at the distance, a length and a half in front. Can he hang on from Prince Anton? Vitalik and Molokai Prince out wide. Redelva getting weary, 3/4 of a length in front. Now a length in front. He's got it, won the big fellow. He draws away to beat Prince Anton and Molokai Prince. Fourth, Don't Play. Vitalik a bit disappointing today from Targlish, Prince Regent and Cindy Legend last. And look at the time, very fast, 1:22.8. An absolutely brilliant ride by Neville Wilson, just like Mick Dittman in the last on Research.
It was a classic ride. He stacked them up early, went a little bit quicker as they got over the crossing when it looked as though he was going to be troubled up in front. But then they ran home very smartly the last bit, and there's Redelva. Just too good. Not weakening, but getting out under pressure. It certainly didn't weaken because he ran home so strongly, but he's a great sprinter, and it's a credit to all concerned that he was able to win first up at the 1400, a distance that we sort of, I worried a bit about. Nifty Neville Wilson, a great rider, never comes and misses out too often in town. And Prince Anton, Molokai Prince was there, and over on the rail, Vitalik was a bit disappointing, really.
157. Fourth went to number 4, Don't Play, and fifth to number 9, Vitalik. Watch Redelva hang out under pressure. Wilson's hands and heels at the moment. Watch him run out quickly. Takes Prince Anton's running for a moment. Neville knows that he's clear of the others, and the horse continues to run away from the rail. He's obviously, well, I was going to say obviously a little sore. He couldn't be to run 1:22.8, but it's a habit that we haven't seen from Redelva before. He has drifted out to the centre of the track. He keeps drifting, but Neville Wilson knows that he's clear of the other runners and not causing any interference. Not a lot of room for Don't Play, sandwiched in between Prince Anton and Molokai Prince. Redelva, the giant with the big blaze from the southeast of South Australia, winning. 170 and 75. Prince Anton $1 and Molokai Prince 85 cents on the Victorian TAB. Interim dividends after the Linlithgow Stakes. He's been a great horse. 12 wins from 21 starts. Trained in Millicent in South Australia, and here's Gay Waterhouse with a winning trainer after the Linlithgow.
Well, Greg, you must have been thrilled with the win.
Yes, horse performed over the 7 better than what we thought.
Yeah, well, it was a query at the distance, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, he's never raced further than 6 furlongs before, and you never know what's going to happen after they go 6. Sometimes they fall in a big hole. But
He didn't fall in a big hole today, though, Greg.
no. I think even a mile might be better, the way he kept firing.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Greg. Congratulations.
Greg Varco from Millicent in South Australia with Gay Waterhouse. The Varcos have always had good horses. They had Agrafo in the old days in South Australia, who was an excellent horse. Teparay was a classic winner in South Australia going back a few years. And today they've got a horse called Redelva by Romantic Hope from Delvina, and he's won the Linlithgow Stakes, and he's won it pointlessly from number 5 Prince Anton and 7 Molokai Prince. We'll be back, plenty of fashion still to come on Oaks Day, dividends all around Australia, and we'll be checking those after this break.
Australia